Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Unfortunately we've lost the audio from this video, so I'm having to do a voiceover, but this is footage from the 4th of September, the day after compost spreading in what turned out to be quite considerable rain. So as you can see, this is the multi-species cover crop with oilseed rape mixed in. As you can see, the crop is just at cotyledons at this stage. As the weather deteriorated over the day, we made the decision to keep going. As you can see, the headland tram is still holding water and has created some damage, but in the middle of the field, away from the headland tram line, the damage isn't too bad. Unfortunately, there was still quite a lot of plastic, and this became more obvious as the compost has been spread. But the tram lines in the field don't seem to be too badly damaged.
Morning everybody, Saturday the 6th of September. Bit chilly as you can see, but it's continued to rain off and on this week. We've had 2 relatively dry days recently. Thursday was dry all day, but rained. We got 7 mil overnight, and then Friday's been pretty dry. So out walking our well watched early sown rape, and let's just have a look about how we're getting on this week. So it's worth saying that we're on the bank. So here, this is the drier end out of the across the field. This would be the driest bit, and so it was the most backwards because of the lack of moisture. So as we go down, we get these occasional big plants here that obviously found some moisture when the crop first got grown, first got planted. As you can see, they're well established now. And the other point of note is, as last week, free of flea beetle. So I wish the whole field looked like this, but it doesn't. Next door, we've got occasional these sort of plants. They probably they were already growing to some extent, but were held back. Now, the majority of the crop is stuff like these, all cotyledons just coming along. So the reassuring thing is that we haven't lost. As we go up here, we've got like a Phacelia there, oh yes, and a vetch there, and plenty of brassicas in the row. So the seeds look as if they haven't died, that they're all here. Now if we go across a little bit, this isn't the worst section, but my concern is the amount of weed over here. I think that's going to be a bit of a challenge. How long we can leave these weeds growing before they start having effect on the cover crop we're trying to establish. I mean, they're a lot bigger. Whilst it rains every day, probably not the biggest issue, but if they were competing for moisture, I would be concerned, especially places like this where they're developing into a bit of a mat and the crop is still at cotyledon stage. So in summary, really pleased. We haven't lost the crop. We're near enough 80 mil we've received in the last 10 days has really helped save this. It's coming through, and it looks like we're avoiding the flea beetle, so that is really reassuring. We obviously the other block, so this is the high risk, as you can see, lots of trees all around here. So this is our high risk block. The lesser risk one is the one where we've applied the compost, that damage that we showed you earlier on the headland. Elsewhere we have been alternating between the pigtail cultivator and the TerraStar depending on soil conditions. We have signed up with a local brewery to grow regenerative barley, a heritage variety Maris Otter. So we're partnering with them, and we're trying to do something a bit risky, trying to grow winter barley after winter wheat. So the issue is contamination. So in that particular case, we have cultivated a bit more than usual in an effort to germinate the wheat in order to try and produce as clean a crop as possible. So in that field we've been through with a Vardstat carrier to try and get complete ground movement. Elsewhere, all the winter beans has now been cultivated with a TerraStar, the exception being one block where we returned. There was a compaction issue. We've had to dig down. We found the level, and so we have been through with an old McConnell cultivator to give that block a bit of a lift. Labrador still enjoying his bit of dead hair there. And finally, one of the drainage schemes that we put in last year, we put it in the autumn just before we drilled winter beans, and the issue was that we couldn't turn it around quickly enough. Got a train line on one side and a road on the other, bit of a challenge. So we couldn't turn the mole ploughing around quick enough, so we just drilled. We have been back into that field mole ploughed. It's got a water main running through it, so that's been a bit of a challenge to go around that. So we've mole ploughed the field. That will get a TerraStar, and then that will be all bean ground have been cultivated, ready for drilling. Elsewhere, we've got 2 trials running for next year. We are trialling a biological seed treatment for copert, and we are also involved in a weed suppression trait trial. So we will be looking at different winter wheat varieties and seeing if they have a different effect on weed control. So we've got a nice weedy field for them to have that trial in. So a little bit of scrabbling around in the background trying to get organised for those trials. So thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye. Afternoon everybody. Tuesday the 9th of September, and we're out in a small block where we're trying to do something a little bit naughty. We're trying to go from winter wheat into winter barley. We've got a contract with a local brewer who's interested in our regenerative approach. They are artisan brewers and use Maris Otter, and therefore we've got a contract to grow with them for the next few years. So we want to try and go for light land. As you can see, it's on the edge of the Chilterns here. This is lighter. It's not one of our lightest fields, but it's lighter. The hope is that it get near enough guarantees us malting spec. 2 issues with that. One, we have got to ensure minimal wheat volunteers from this crop, and secondly, we have to get a really good germination, so we get a very high plant count so that you have maximized plant numbers and tiller numbers in an effort to share nitrogen and guarantee low nitrogen values. This is on the headland, but we have got the occasional head like this with grain in it. But if you come over here, again, we're still on the headland, but we have got some germination going on. But the question is, we get something like this. Most easy. Yeah, it's still got some grains in it. So as you can see, there are wheat volunteers in the tram lines. We just come through here with a carrier, Vardestat carrier. Now my concern is lumps like this. See, it's about the height of my boot. Now, just a lot of trash. I think it'll make for quite tricky cultivation. Here's another block here. Just a combination of poor chop spread, I guess. I thought the chopping was reasonably good, but it was cultivated in the wet, so maybe that has an effect. It's worth saying that this section here, or this field, it's one of three. This one in the middle had the worst Claydon germination. Had just a bit patchy. You could follow up a row, just a bit stop-start, and it's led to these holes, which then the grass weeds have then grown where there wasn't a lot of competition. And that variable nature has also affected combine feed, and really it epitomises something that we worry about, the absolute consistency. You want consistency in seedbed, consistency in establishment, all the way through to harvest, and this picky nature really doesn't help. So what to do about this field? We had always planned for a second pass with the carrier. Obviously this is not direct drilling, but it's the need to get a wheat germination that I'm going for. So I want a super fine seed bed, so always going from yellow straw crop to another yellow straw is tricky, and the fact that we haven't baled this, so there's a lot of residue to incorporate. I just don't feel, I came out here to see if a stubble rake would be enough, whether I needed to go deeper with a carrier. I think we will just stick with a carrier, but looking for mix rather than depth, and then hopefully I can level it out with a stubble rake afterwards. Really encouraged by the effect that the combination of the Terrastar and the stubble rake have had on the bean ground. It's coming up beautifully, looks perfect. Wouldn't want a massive amount of rain on, but if it stays dry it's going to be absolutely ideal. This on the other hand is not ideal yet, still some way to go. So I was just thinking whether I might be better off going through here with a tine rather than a disc, just to get more mix. That might leave it. Our tines, our pigtail cultivator does tend to leave it a little bit ridged, but I think we can level that out. What I'm looking for is more mix rather than depth. So leave this one with me. I'll keep you updated. Good morning everybody. Sunday the 14th of September, and I'm in a field of winter wheat, light ground. It's got a multi-species cover crop based mostly on mustard, but it's got some vetch in it and some cereals. So I thought I'd just give you an update. It's always interesting to see just how fast mustard develops. It's pretty steady getting to the sort of true leaf phase
and then sits around ankle height for a while before suddenly bolting to flowering. So let's just take a quick look on how this mustard's getting on. So as you can see, we're at true leaf. We've got 2 true leaves. So these are your cotyledons. You've got 2 true leaves coming on either side, and then right in the middle one, you've got the next true leaves coming along. So nice little plant there. I'd say probably a couple of inches tall. Right next to it, we've got the vetch coming through and some cereal volunteers. And that is the makeup of our multi-species cover crop. And it's pretty consistent coverage actually all the way on. This was blown on with our Technete machine, broadcaster, and so yeah, just blown on effectively, and then we did roll it to establish, to try and get good seed soil contact. Sorry about the helicopter in the background. And another bench there. So there's, as you can see, plenty of mustard. So overall, established well, very even coverage. Shepherd's given us a call. That's all lined up. So he's just ready for it to get to sort of knee height really. At that point we can kick on. As you can see, pretty overcast. We've had pretty much rain every day this week. So we've managed to flip between sort of cultivating like land, and we've also done seed cleaning's been completed this week, and so that just leaves us with some winter beans to clean. So we'll clean those in-house. That'll probably happen this week, I'm thinking. And then yes, drilling campaign will begin. So thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.